Hey everyone, happy April. I'm filming this and it's April 1st. It's almost April 2nd actually, but I decided that I wanted to do this while everything is fresh in my mind to talk about what I'm about to get into. But also I have peace and quiet now and I'm not running around and doing a bunch of work. So there's something that I would like to start implementing into my channel, which is every month, the first video that I'd like to play or record every beginning of the month is kind of like a reflection of the previous month, how I did sales wise, any new discoveries, wins, maybe losses as well, but it's mostly kind of like a how much I made in, the previous month, and maybe if I have enough details to go over it, I can also go over what my expenses were like last month, because they are usually a lot. They have been a lot lately because I've been signing up for markets, vendor, craft events, and stuff like that. So yeah, my credit card bills have been pretty high lately, and I can't wait until I don't need to buy all this stuff and I start making money. And for those of you who have been waiting for content like this, I really do apologize that I don't really do this regularly. As a business owner, it should be something that is like at the top of my mind, like something that I cover every month systematically. And I don't really know why I don't. I actually personally don't look at the numbers too much, which is like a huge red flag for like a business owner. It's like really irresponsible, right? And I totally get that. Like I should not be just recklessly spending money and just like doing whatever, willy-nilly getting things manufactured and so forth. Like I get that. But thinking about it now, I think I never really took I never really paid too much attention to how much I made every month and comparing it with how much I spent. Because actually, there's actually a couple reasons why I probably don't do that. Number one is I'm afraid that looking at the numbers and the figures every month will make me obsessed with looking at these numbers. And as it is, I'm already trying really hard to kind of position myself and show different things on my accounts, my social media accounts, to kind of gain the upper hand and like win against the algorithm or just gain the favor of the algorithm. But I'm afraid that looking at the numbers and seeing that, oh, I didn't really do so well this month, last month, the other month, and I only made this, this much X amount of dollars. I'm afraid that that's going to discourage me from trying, because they're like, you shouldn't like let social media drive your content. You should still make content because you want to. And I'm afraid that the money, just becoming obsessed with looking at the money, just like how you kind of look at the likes whenever you post something, then you kind of obsess over it and like refresh it. I don't know, some people are like that, but yeah, I'm afraid that my mind's gonna start like getting wrapped into that, and then I'm going to become influenced or discouraged or even potentially give up for a second time. So admittedly, I feel like that is a big reason why I don't check how much I make every month. Not to like gatekeep or anything from you guys, that's not it at all. It's more of doing it systematically every month and being like, oh well, I did worse this year, and I'm just afraid that that's going to one day just really discourage me at to some point where I will just like stop. I know it's also really important for growth. I need to be able to look at the money, look at the numbers, and figure out what I'm doing wrong or what I'm doing right. And also, I guess, be able to look later down the line, 1 or 2 years down the line and be like, oh, yes, springtime or these specific months, I didn't do so well. And it seems to be a recurring theme every year where I don't do well in the spring, but I do better in the summer and the fall, or summer and winter Christmas season. So it is important to have those kinds of figures and things to back up your decision making in business. So I totally see why that's really important. Also, another reason why I think that I don't really care to look too deeply into the numbers every month is also because I know for a fact that I am funneling a bit of my personal money into my business. I do not just, I'll tell you right now before I even get into how much I made in March. It's not impressive like the other YouTubers and, art accounts that tell you that they made 5,000 or 8,000 or $10,000 a month. I do not make anywhere near that. I've been around for 4 years, but I'll say 2.5 because I burnt out for 1.5. So I was pretty much dead and not doing anything for those 1.5 years. So let's say 2.5 years. For that whole time that I've been around, I have been funneling money here and there from my main job, my day job, my full-time job, into manufacturing things, buying supplies, all of that stuff for my business. So I am no stranger to that, and I am my own bank right now. So I just feel like, I don't know, it's not really worth mentioning. And also the fact that I do put some of my money into it, it should not be counted as revenue or profit. So I guess there was also a bit of shame behind me sharing how much I make because it's not a lot, it's very insignificant. But then again, when you think about it, I'm better off than someone who never started in the first place. Long story short, I'm going to try to make an effort at the beginning of every month to make a video like this, where I talk about how much I made last month and then also talk about my expenses. Oh, and before I start sharing the figures from last month, after I share the figures, I would like to share goals that I want to try and achieve for this month. So for the month of April, what things I'd like to hit, certain metrics that I'd like to achieve. So I hope you enjoy, and I apologize for the long introduction. I felt like, I don't know, I just felt like I needed to justify my reasoning as to why I haven't been creating content like this. So yeah, let's get started. Let's look at the numbers. Okay, so I have the numbers in front of me on my computer screen here, and I have pulled open both my business bank account, where I get monthly statements as to like the breakdowns of how much I got deposited and then how much I withdrew. That way I have the bottom line, but also I am looking at Etsy under finances. And if you go to monthly statements, you can check specific months and look at your net profit. So for Etsy, my net profit was $199.08 for the month of March. And I had participated in BizBaz at Home, which is an online convention that also took place back in March. So I did that at the end of the month or something like that. And I participated in an artist panel with 2 other artists, and that money, which is, I think, they usually pay artists like $30. That was split amongst us 3. So I received $11.09 from that event. So in total, the Etsy and the PayPal, I received it in the form of like Ko-fi or Ko-fi, however you pronounce that. So add that together, that is $210.17. And I also received my tax return for my state, New Jersey and New York, because I work for a company in New York. So I also had to put tax return for that. But I had part of the money sent to my business bank account and part of it sent to my personal bank account. So it was kind of like split a little bit, like 30% of it went here. So I don't know if I want to count this as income because this is literally not something that I am selling. This is just like a one-time, like once a year income, but I don't know, maybe I guess I'll count it. But just so you know, it's $196 that I received. That went to my business bank account. I'm only counting whatever went into my business bank account, not the money that I sent over to myself from my personal bank account. This is tax return money. So if you add that tax return money of $196 to the Etsy and the PayPal income, that totals to $406.17 for the month of March. Oh, actually, another thing that I would like to add technically is an income from March, but I did not receive the money yet. So as I said before in my previous videos, I started consigning my greeting cards at a local small business in another town close by, and the manager was actually able to sell 4 of my greeting cards so far within like the span of 2 or 3 days. So I was really ecstatic to find that out. So I have priced those greeting cards at $5 retail, and it's a 50-50 consignment. So that means she will keep $250 and I will take $250 from every card that sells. So technically, since she was able to sell 4 cards, my take home should be $10. I don't know how tax and everything gets factored into that, but let's just say for simplicity's sake, the income that I made from those greeting cards is $10. I did not receive it from her yet, but I did make that in March. So let's say I added another $10 and my total income without the tax return is $220.17. Now, my credit card bill is unfortunately higher, quite a bit higher than my income, especially if you don't include the tax return. My credit card bill, I ended up spending for the month of March $579.05. This came from paying for vendor fees. Like I said, I have been pretty much doing nothing but signing up for vendor events until lately. Like I'm fully booked from May till July. I shouldn't say fully booked, but I have 3 events going on each of those months, and I feel like I'm going to die. And then I have 3 in October as well. So I have a little bit of a break. I think in August I have 1 or 2, and then September I have none. November and December I have none as well, but I plan on signing up for those. So probably when it's like in the summertime. But anyway, I've been paying for those vendor fees and they are not cheap. They're like $100, 150, 200 is the average of what you can expect, unless you're going to like a smaller local craft market. You could get away for paying like $30, $40, $50 or $60 for those things. But yeah, I've been paying, $100, $150 a pop for these, and I just haven't gone to them yet because they're taking place in May or June or July. So I'm just hoping that all the money that I'm spending now is going to pay off and I'll get profit later. But I also ran out of sticker paper So my online labels weatherproof sticker paper is now used up. So I had to buy something else. I bought the standard matte sticker paper and because it was cheaper, and like I said, I had been spending so much money lately, so I'm trying to see if I could get away, like if it's still like good or up to my standards to use. And I think it's okay, but I think I need to test it out more with more designs. I'm not sure how I like the way it looks with the matte laminate, but anyway, I'm going off on another tangent. So my credit card bill comprised of a bunch of different things, like paying vendor fees, buying like market supplies for outdoor markets. I don't have like a tent or anything. I literally only have a 6-foot table, a table runner, 2 chairs, and a tablecloth and maybe like a grid panel. But everything else, like I don't have a tent. I need lighting. I need to worry about a fan in the summer. I need to worry about a heater when it's still cold out. And I need to figure out how to display all of my stuff. I probably need another table as well. And I haven't bought that table yet. So like my spending is not over. But that's what my credit card bill has been looking like the past few months, and that's why it's always like so high. It's 579, like I said, this past March, and unfortunately, I did not make enough income from my Etsy shop to like at least cancel that out. I'm lucky that my income back in February looked better, and my credit card bill didn't look as bad because I made more than that. It's one of those months, and unfortunately I have to start this series off on a low point, but at least now you kind of understand like, hey look, I'm a YouTuber who has been here for like 4 years, or let's just say 2.5 because I was gone for 1.5 years. I've been around for a little while. That's what I'm trying to say. And I am seeing like it's very, very slow growth. I'm not one of those people who have gotten viral and like just went from, I don't know, like 1,000 followers to like 21,000 in the span of like 1 or 2 months. It's not like that for me at all. It is very, very slow. So I'm literally trying to explore different avenues and see what things will lead to success. Okay, so now moving on to my goals for April, I'm going to start off like really small and hopefully simple because I don't want to, put like a huge wall in front of myself to try to accomplish by the end of the month, because I just don't really know how things will go as far as like sales, because I've been trying to market and make new stuff, but obviously that doesn't immediately correlate to sales. So yeah, my goal for April, I am currently at 811 sales on Etsy, and I would like to try to achieve 850 sales. So I don't think that's too bad, and I think it could be doable, especially if I get like large orders that are more than 1 or 2 items. I think that could work. Ideally, I would love to hit 1,000 sales by the end of the year, but that's just like looking like way ahead. So yeah, 850 sales in April. Maybe 3,000, 3,500 followers on Instagram by the end of April. I think that's pretty doable because right now I'm at 3489. Okay, 3493. It just refreshed, but you always get fluctuations here and there. So 3,500 I think is still a good goal to achieve, and then I'll reevaluate once I hit that. But yeah, so that is how much I made in March and how much I spent. and my goals for April. I hope that you find this video helpful and that you'll look forward to this every month. Again, I apologize for this video being a little drawn out. I felt like I needed to explain a couple things, especially since this is going to be the first of the series. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I always appreciate you being here, and thank you so much to those of you who have recently subscribed to me. If you don't know, my name is May, and I run an Etsy shop called Tiramisu. I make a lot of digital illustrations, sometimes very rarely like traditional illustrations, but then I turn them into stationery, paper goods, and accessories. I've recently kind of branched out into canvas goods like pouches, zipper pouches, and canvas bags. And yeah, so I'm just trying to experiment on a bunch of different things. So I make a variety of content here, and I hope you'll stick around. So thanks again, guys, for watching. I will see you next week. Bye.